It's rookie camp season, and we're going to take a look at the San Francisco 49ers and get our first glimpse of Ricky Pearsall. We're going to watch him run some routes, work through some drills, catch some balls, the normal stuff from rookie camp. But before we dig into these clips, you need to click that subscribe button right now because we're looking at these rookie camps. We're looking at these rookies, seeing what they're doing on the field as they get acclimated to their new teams. It's all right here. Click that button. Stop missing out. We'll have training camp and mini camp soon once those take place. But it's Ricky Pearsall time. We're going to run through the clips one time, and then we'll run through them again and talk ball on him. But there he is, breaking off routes, getting in and out of his breaks, showing the hands a little bit. Remember, it's rookie camp. T-shirt, shorts, basics. They're just trying to get to know each other pretty much. He's trying to get to know his coaches. Coach is trying to get to know him. Very fluent feet. Very quick, very sharp. I got a lot to say about Ricky Pearsall, though. Very sharp breaks. Nasty hands. Until he's got that dog in him when it comes to work ethic. Even on the field, too. But you can tell he puts in that time. Very stout, too. Thicker than expected. I kind of expected it. I mean, we've been covering him a lot. Senior Bowl, all that. In season, we talked about him a lot, too. But Ricky Pearsall, going into the draft, during the process, I considered him one of my guys, and I wasn't expecting him to get drafted in the first round. I expected him to be a surprise second-round pick. I knew the talent was there. The route running was there. The ball skills there, too. We saw that at Florida. Randomly on Saturdays, he'd just make that highlight grab and just slow down social media for a second with everybody watching it. But Ricky Pearsall, getting drafted in the first round, took the wind out of a lot of people's sails because a lot of people was not expecting it. Me too, I was not expecting him to go in the first round. I did that video talking about Ricky Pearsall and the 49ers a few weeks ago, and I peeled back the onion, and I just really looked at his tape again, thought over it, thought over what the Niners like at wide receiver, and it makes sense for them and what they like. They like assertive players. They like players who are very nasty at the catch, who have that my ball mentality, and that's when the ball's in the air, when it's getting in and out of their breaks, when it's off the field and in the weight room practicing. That's Ricky Pearsall. After the catch, he's a very assertive, aggressive player. That's what they like. That's what they liked in Brandon Aiyuk. He's very assertive at the catch point. He's very assertive. He's very aggressive getting in and out of his breaks. Very aggressive after the catch. Of course, Deebo Samuel's like that. They got Deebo. They wanted that. And they were like, let's keep getting that trade in our wide receivers. And you'll see little trends with teams. Like, they got a type. Ricky Pearsall fits their type. What I liked about him during the draft season, what I liked about him that made him my guy during that part was in Dynasty rookie drafts, he was going at a very palatable price points. He was falling a little bit because people were wondering where he was going to go. He did very well at the Senior Bowl. He locked on there. You saw the route running. You saw him get in and out of his breaks. You saw the tight hands. You go back and look at his production profile. Not the greatest. Yards per route ran, breakout age, all that stuff. But then you can tell yourself a story with that because of 2020, the lack of games, Arizona State, the transfer, playing with Anthony Richardson, the lower volume passing offense, and then him breaking out, getting a large market share of the passing production back after the season. He is an older wide receiver. That being said, though, when you look at him as a prospect, you're looking at a good wide receiver that's going to fit this offense very well. You're looking at the 49ers who's going to have some contract decisions with Brandon Aiyuk and Deebo Samuel. That's probably the best way to put it. Contract decisions. Going to have to figure out what to do there. Honestly, there was a lot of questions with the draft pick with Ricky Pearsall, with the big media, fantasy football aficionados. They had the same questions with Brandon Aiyuk. Different prospects, not a comparison, but also just a comparison of the market. The market was not too keen on that, but Brandon Aiyuk, good after the catch, nasty, getting in and out of his breaks. He's very assertive. They got similar mentalities when it comes to playing the game. Him, Deebo, they got a type. They went after the type. They got their player. Like I've been saying, when it comes to the NFL draft, there was about 20 wide receivers. Maybe I need to go back and count. But subjectively, had a grade of around the second, third round, day 2 grade on them. About 20 of them. Usually in a draft, you have like 9, 10, 11, 12 range. You got pushing 20 here. And that caused teams just to go after their guy, get their fit, because they had similar grades. And teams like to get players that fit well in their system, that can work well with their team. If you want to look at them for Dynasty Fantasy Football, you really got to gauge the market here. You gauge your draft. I think early second round might be a little too rich. But the thing is, he's getting pushed down in a lot of drafts too. He's getting pushed down to very palatable price points. A lot of people talking down on him, and it's pushing down his price point to where it was pre-draft levels. With him being a first-round pick, he's going to get opportunity to see targets, to see the field earlier than a lot of these other players drafted in the second and third round. That being said, Ricky Pearsall, handpicked for the Niners, will get opportunity, and the odds for a first-round pick is more likely for a guy drafted in the second or third round. He going in the middle or late part of the second round, a lot of drafts, that's a tremendous value for a first-round wide receiver. He's going to a part of a draft, in most drafts, not all drafts, sometimes they swing early on him, but middle second round, late second round, somewhere around that range in a lot of drafts that I've been seeing, that's a great price tag for any wide receiver drafted in the first round, whether the production profile's low, the athletic specs are low, depending on whatever red flags that player has. I'm talking in general with general players. That once you get that first round tag and you're going that low in the second round, you also got a 50 to 60% hit rate that you can mess around with there. And the hit rate for anybody getting drafted in that area is way less than 50%. So, of course, slamming the button on a first-round wide receiver once you get past that 205 or around that 205 range, subjectively, is a good value. He's also very assertive. He's a refined route runner. He's got good hands. He could exceed expectations. Remember, it sounds like I talked low on him while being real with you, but also remember he was one of my guys in the draft process. The value I thought was going to jump the shark, but it didn't. And I kind of guessed that during draft day when I did my review on him on the draft pick live on the spot. I imagined the market was going to push him down, and it did. 49ers fans, if you're still here, as a wide receiver prospect and fit for your team, I like him. I like him as a fit for your team. You're going to need to be getting more wide receivers if Aiyuk and Deebo leaves. That's a given, right? That's a given. You're going to need to get more. But what you're getting out of him is a good route runner who's very assertive, very swift getting in and out of his breaks, who has sticky hands. Smart player, working hard to get better. We've seen that throughout the course of time in his career. Very nuanced. Fantasy football-wise, dart throw, because there's a lot of other pieces involved. You got Deebo, you got Aiyuk, you got Kittle, you got Purdy. You got other wide receivers coming into the offense because if those two wide receivers go anytime soon due to the contracts coming up, then there might be more talent to compete with. You got a lot of things coming up. You got the rookie ramp up. There's a lot of other things to look at here for fantasy football. Dart throw with a lot of upside. The upside's there. The downside's there too. But again, the value in rookie drafts when you're looking at him, very good price tag. Very good price tag considering what you're getting out of that. The market pushed him down. If he was going middle or late part of the first round because he got drafted in the first round, that'd be a little scary. But the market pushed him down to where he's a great dart throw piece. That being said, when you look at him for redraft, possibly a late round dart throw, but more than likely a guy you're picking up off waivers middle of the season if something happens to Aiyuk or Deebo. Aiyuk, Deebo, and Kittle is going to eat up too many targets here in 2024 unless something happens to one of them or two of them. But he will be on the field some this year. He will be on the field. He will have a route participation rate that is something to look at least. That being said, you're just going to monitor him throughout the season and redraft. You're not drafting him unless you really want to make that dart throw. You're in deep 14, 16 team league, deeper rosters and benches. Maybe if something happens to Deebo or Aiyuk, maybe. But again, there's a lot of targets that need to be funneled his way. With both those two guys in the lineup, it's hard for a third guy to really get you fantasy relevant numbers consistently. Maybe some upside here and there. Maybe that rookie flash. If he flashes with those two on the field, then you may want to buy in and try and get him on the cheap, which is going to be hard to do because they paid a second-round rookie pick for him. You're going to have to pay a first or more if he starts flashing because you might as well hold at that point. You might as well. It's not like you're going to transition back to a second-rounder when you know what you got. So if you're going to buy, it's going to be prior to that. But I do like Ricky Pearsall prior to the draft. The first round pick got me very surprised. But as a player, I love the route running. I love the hands. I love the assertiveness. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. I want to thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.